Which tire machine is better? That is the question we're here to answer. Right now, we are pitting the Rabaconda, the venerable, amazing, awesome Rabaconda, against the new to the party, yet really, really well-designed Neutron from Rocky Mountain ATV, guys. I want to start by saying, if you're going to change mooses, one of these tire machines is definitely a good purchase. There are other ones too that I have never used. Zip Tie makes one, although they seem to always be back ordered. And then there's a whole plethora of them in Europe. They make all these crazy ones with like pedals and probably make it super, super easy. But generally, these are the two. And then there's also the Moose version, which I had one of those on there, but that's out of the picture because I never did like it that much. It was always too rattly and stuff like that. But so we're going with these two. These ones have been used and abused like crazy here at the shop. By the way, I'm Morgan from Highland Cycles, if you don't know. We're a small motorcycle shop in Western Colorado. We work on pretty much just dirt bikes and the occasional RZ350, which is over there. We change tons of mooses, moose balls, Michelins, Nitros, every version out there, right? We do tubeless. I don't like that, but we do it. We've done the Tax Protect Moose, all sorts of things. So we've had a ton of hours and a ton of wheels on both of these machines. They both have amazing upsides. They both have some downsides. Let's go over them. Let's start with the Rabaconda. The Rabaconda is definitely the industry standard, guys. This is what everybody at 6 days uses. I think Rabaconda provides these things. Tons of them. There's like, they have just lines of them. They're really, really, really good. They're lightweight. They all come apart super easy to pack down into their bag, all that stuff. Let's go over the high points of the Rabaconda. First and foremost, bead breaker, super easy to use. The little, I don't know, the tooth part of the bead breaker really sets up well. If you get these legs lined up for an 18 or a 21, or there's lots of other settings, but generally 18 or 21, if you get that set up right, when you come down, this tends to push in the correct spot on the tire every time. It works really, really well. It's easy to use. When you put it back, it stays out of the way plenty. Comes apart, it's got this nice little pin, come apart to fold down, works great. So I really like this part of it. These legs are very, very easy to move. They just have these cam locks here. You just lift them up, slide them, whatever, do your thing, go down. Very easy to change between an 18 and a 21, because that's what most of us are doing. Super fast, right? This middle post that holds goes through the axle hole of the wheel is good. It stays nice and solid, doesn't move around a lot. They've got these really cool rubber feet underneath, which I really like. Tends to not slide around on the concrete floor here. So that's a really, really nice part of this too. The way you take it apart is easy. Just one big screw here, undo that. This all folds down in. Honestly, one of my favorite things about the Rabaconda is it's got this holder for tire iron. It's honestly a bigger deal than you think because they're always right there. They're always in the right spot. I really, really like that a lot. All right, now let's switch over to the Neutron. The things I like about the Neutron. Again, bead breaker is good, big, strong. I like this actually rubber handle out here. That's pretty nice. Better than the Rabaconda, but comes apart really easy. I will say that this tooth thing does not line up as easy as that. So if you're in a hurry, this thing, if you come down, it doesn't seem to want to get to the right part of the tire as easily. It's obviously you just use your hand to move it, but you don't just slam down. One thing I really like about this one is that it's got two positions. You go like that, it keeps this out of the way and it doesn't fall way back. Or if you want, you can lift this up and get it way out of the way, and that's pretty cool. One of the things I like most about this tire changer over that one is these Delrin slides. That's what I'm kind of call them. I don't know if they're actually Delrin, but they're plastic slides. So when you put a wheel on here and spin it, because you're inevitably going to be spinning it to put tire irons in different places, these are nice. They don't mess up your spokes. They don't mar your spokes. If you got the old style KTMs with the black spokes, or the new Betas have black spokes, they don't wear the black off the spoke. Really, really, really nice. And the wheels tend to want to slide around on them very well. Like that one, these have kind of a quick change setup, but they are not as good as that. Like these, they're basically just dials, screws. They're a little more secure, so you can really reef down and get it to hold and not move. That's really nice, but it's not as quick. You can't just like flip them up, move them, you know, to switch between an 18 and a 21. It's also got 2 of them back here, which again makes it hold really, really tight and not want to slide around. And because as these loosen up, which you can then tighten them back up, but as you get some wear on these things, and even these ones, when you put it on there, you'll be working on it. It'll want to try to back that up or slide that in depending on what you're doing, and then make it harder to work on. So I like these because you reef on them really tight and they work good. So as I was saying, I really like these things because they lock down really tight, but they are harder to change, especially since you have 2 over here. You got to undo 2, slide it. It's not as quick change as the Rabaconda. Same as far as like breaking down into put in a bag, it's about the same. They work about the same. This doesn't seem to want to stay as tight. This post, not a big deal. Probably put some thread lock or some stuck nuts on there and be just fine. I also like that it comes with multiple versions to come up through, so you can go a little bit bigger, or you take this whole thing out and you can go smaller for like mini bikes. This one adjusts down smaller, down to a 12-inch wheel, which is really, really cool. The Rabaconda will not do that. Now, let's talk about the things I don't like. It seems like on the Rabaconda, no matter what you do with tightening these things down, these want to catch on spokes as you're trying to spin. So when you're doing this and you're trying to like jam tire irons in to get the wheel, you know, tire off or whatever you're doing, if you're trying to spin the wheel, it tends to always want to grab on the edge of these things. So I've actually beat them down with a hammer, some of them, and that's helped a lot. Kind of a downside. The other downside is that these cam locks tend to loosen up and then allow this whole thing to move more than I like. It kind of annoying. So when you like start working on a 21 and it slowly moves to a whatever, and then you can't get the right leverage. It's not a huge deal, but it's definitely a thing. And the way this works with the cam lock, if you want to adjust that, you got to take it apart. I'll show you real fast. You take it off like this, tighten this down, put it back on, make sure you got it right. So I don't know, it's less convenient than these. Other than that, I really, really like this machine. This one, the few things I don't like about this one, I've already touched on. I don't like the fact that these knobs, they're not cam locks, so you don't just go and shove them down. You got to tighten them down. I think I'd really like to see these turn into like wing nuts with just 2 things, or maybe 3, so it's easier to grab a hold. The way these look, I'll show you. You can see, they're just not super easy to like get a bunch of torque on. So it would be nice if they had like just 3 prongs or 2 prongs, so you can, a little bit easier to really reef on them. The other thing that is not my favorite about this is that if these get loose and you're spinning a tire, it will definitely catch on these Delrin things. And actually what I'm going to do to modify mine is I'm going to take my grinder, I'm going to cut a 45 on each one of these so that as it's going, it won't hang up. Because if these are tight, they don't want to hang up. It works great. If these loosen up just a little bit from use, like, you know, in your 5th, 6th tire or whatever, as you try to spin it, it will do that. All in all, guys. Oh, and the other thing, let me quick disclaimer. I have one of these at my house. A Rabaconda is what I have at my house. So if you see other videos of me changing tires at my house, it is going to be on a Rabaconda. Oh, one other thing I do like about this, the feet don't have the rubber thing, so it does tend to want to slide, but it does have holes, so you could bolt it down. So if you had a place in your shop, you knew you wanted to keep it, you could drive some bolts down in here. Or if you wanted to get a big piece of plywood, you could put some screws in it, and then you could stand on the plywood, and then it wouldn't move around. So I do like that. I think that's a pretty cool setup to make it super, super secure if you wanted. But you can't do that with this. This is definitely meant to be a little more portable than this, I think. One other thing real fast that I dislike about this is it does not have a tire iron holder. I need someone out there who wants to work with me on building a tire iron holder that we could just strap to this or bolt to this or something. I was thinking about like a 3D printed tube like this with, I mean, honestly, you could just have some self-tappers, or I don't know, email me, morgan@highland-cycles.com. Let's come up with something cool and we can sell them to all the people who buy this, because it would be really cool to have a tire iron holder. It's pretty annoying that it doesn't have a tire iron holder. If I'm right now spending my own money on one of these machines, I'm choosing the Neutron. It's about $100 cheaper. I'm going to buy this one. It's a little bit less money. The Delrin slides and the fact that you can lock this down tighter those are the two things that set this apart and make this, to me, a better machine. Also the fact you're saving money. That $100 you could spend on a set of tire irons or tires for your bike, gas your bike, whatever. So yeah, both amazing machines. Both have lots of ups. Both have a few downs. To me, the ups outweigh the downs on this one over this one. So I'm going to choose the Neutron. I like it a lot. Now here's the deal. Here's the sales pitch. If you want to buy one of these, use the link in the description with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. I will make a little bit of money. You'll get a great deal. The other thing is, I think Rocky Mountain probably sells Rabacondas too, so you can use the link for that too. So it doesn't matter to me which one you buy, but I like this one a lot, guys. I've used it on probably hundreds of tires. Zach's used it. Zach whines about everything all the time, but you know, in general, he actually uses the Rabaconda more because I put it over in his area because I like this one better. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that sheds some light on these two tire machines and helps you make a decision. And either way, you're going to be much happier changing mooses on one of these.